meeting, the president of PFLAG Canada York Region released a public letter to the board, saying unless changes are made, PFLAG will begin a process of designating the board an unsafe space for the LGBTQ2.
Keep in mind, this is a Catholic school.
Why is it so important to you to have schools fly the pride flag and post pride stickers?
What we saw displayed by those parents and community members is a reflection of what students experience in schools. They don't feel safe.
Hey, you got like 100 students running around with pride flags. You got a thing up here, banner for the pride flags. But that ain't enough for it. No. They don't feel safe. They don't feel safe. How can you not feel safe when the entire student body is doing this for them? Like it's not good enough for them to be just like everybody else. They have to have special privileges and rights.
Students crying yesterday in reaction to what they heard in the lobby.
Because they're not allowed to have a flag? Really? Well, the KKK ain't allowed to have a flag either. If the KKK starts crying about it, should we just rally and protest?
And some were expressing out loud, pleading with trustees during a board meeting. You know, the positive heckling was from a student saying, my class is not safe. I don't feel safe.
The entire student body is out there. They don't feel safe? How do they not feel safe when the entire student body is they've got flags and everything?
12 years as a student here.
Look at this!
The stickers and the pride flag won't solve the issues that a school board like York Catholic has, but it still goes a long way. It's such a simple, easy way to say we're trying. Look
at this! We need to try more for these pieces of crap. These communists who think that they should have more rights than us.
Accept you, and we're trying to make our schools safer than they were in the past.
Look at that! Is he being for real? Does everyone see that every kid in the school is on their side? Why don't they feel safe? They have mental problems, that's why.
Past. Students deserve that. And I'm a teacher. And the number one issue is learning. Students cannot learn if they don't feel safe.
Yeah, they don't feel safe because you're lying to them, saying they're not. What's funny is, how do you have a whole student body, right, in a school, running out with LGBT flags? The whole school is covered with LGBT flags, and you're sitting here saying how they don't feel safe. Well, how are those flags all over the school? Every school that's smoking got all these flags. How are they up if everyone hates the LGBT so much? It doesn't make sense. Oh, that's right, they're lying. This is a school. You can see the kids in the auditorium. But they don't feel safe. They have goddamn trannies dancing on a stage all the time. All these flags and things, they don't feel safe? They don't feel safe. Are they freaking serious?
I think those are fishnets.
That's how you know they're indoctrinated, because if they think that they aren't feeling safe, all these kids in there, when they, like you got 800 kids in the school, right? And 800 kids come out with LGBT flags saying, the LGBT ain't safe in our school. Then you know they're brainwashed, because that makes no sense.
Nothing about this serves a purpose. A play does. A story does. This isn't a story. This is a grown man performing in front of children.
They're not being indoctrinated, really. Look at this. Right. No indoctrination here. Can you even walk 5 feet without seeing a pride flag? A communist pride flag? This is your new religion. Get used to it. This is happening all over the world. People think they're going to just move out of the country. We ain't moving nowhere. Look at this. They feel so unsafe, and they're doing this. They got some cross-dresser or whatever up there. Everyone's clapping, but they feel unsafe, really. That makes all sense.
No, we're not doing.
It's been weighing heavy on me as a trans teacher in the middle of the world as it currently exists for us. And that's how challenging it can be there for the mental and emotional well-being of my students when I'm trying to manage my own. I had such a heartbreaking conversation with a student yesterday who seemed so genuinely concerned for me. Because after I was featured several times in far-right media this year, shout out to the journalist who's been stalking me, who I hope loses.
I love how everyone that disagrees with them is far right. Okay, I hated the right all my life. Don't give me far right bullshit.
Her car keys and spills coffee on her white skirt today. I've not only been subject to violent threats and harassment.
Every time they say about the race thing or everyone, someone getting hurt or whatever, it's a hoax. Always a hoax. These people lie. They can walk into a store. I have one of my videos in this thing, like 2 videos ago. The non-binary guy goes into the store. There's like 100 people in there. Not one of them. I paused it so everyone can see. Look, no one was even looking in his direction. And he's bitching the entire time, talking about how everyone's just looking at him, treating him like shit. It's all in their mind.
Community making some hasty final decisions about who I am and how I teach.
Okay, so this is a respond video to how this teacher has been being treated. So I did a deep dive on this person. And, it makes sense now. It really does. And we're going to get into 2 more videos from this trans teacher. At first, I want to feel bad. I don't think any teacher, trans teacher, gay, whatever, should have to go through harsh things just because of existing. The difference, though, is that this person is not just existing. This person is making a life out of being a trans TikTok teacher and highlighting all the things that they're doing in their classroom, highlighting all the ways that their kids react to them, highlighting all the things and what it's like to be a trans teacher. What do you expect in 2023 to happen to you? As sensitive as these issues are, like you just said, you opened up Pandora's box for yourself. If you were just to be a teacher and just teach and go home, I guarantee you it would not have been as big of an issue, but instead you wanted to be a trans teacher influencer, and now here we are.
Writing has been on the wall for a while.
Candace Owens slanders LGBTQ teachers. Pedophilia is around the corner. We must not give these freaks and predators such much as 1 inch. Candace, I have to teach you really said that because I've met her. She has some really hot takes. Some of them I agree with, some of them I obviously don't. But that ties right into what I was talking about.
For a while, and a storm is definitely coming.
It's her freaks. But the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and it's the loudest ones that are causing the most uproar.
Writing has been on the wall for a while, and a storm is definitely coming now for queer teachers, and unfortunately we have been here before. In 1978, a senator from California named John Briggs proposed the Briggs Initiative, which sought to ban gay and lesbian educators from teaching in California, using basically the same tactics we're seeing now. The argument was that gay and lesbian teachers, or anybody who supported us, were basically pedophiles. It was ultimately defeated thanks in large part to this guy, but it is absolutely horrifying seeing those exact same talking points being used against us again.
You know what's funny though? They use those terms and they panicked like that for gay and lesbian teachers back in, like 50 years ago. But then for 50 years and all the way up to 2000s, 2010s, up until about 4 years ago, it's been...
Yeah, now listen to this, because this is important.
...fine. Because we all saw that, gay teachers and lesbian teachers, they know how to act. I've had gay and lesbian teachers before in my past. They just teach and go home. But what's different and what this person, this person's trying to correlate the two, and it's not fitting. The math.
That's right, because no one cares that someone's gay or trans. They've been here for 50 years, no one said anything. They're saying it now because they're doing this communist ideology, this gender crap.
The math thing, they are equally the same thing. Because the trans teachers, the non-binary teachers, all of them, they're the one that people are having issue with. It's this person, this teacher, that has a classroom with a dedicated gay library that's causing the issue. Okay? You're bringing this to yourself because, like you said, now they're using these talking points against us. We have to rise up for queer teachers. No, fam. The LGBs have been fine. The lesbians, the gays, the bis, we've been kicking it. They've been teachers. The whole thing, it's been fine. It's been okay. We've been chilling. It wasn't until the TQ Plus came around.
Okay, so
this one is a teacher answering the question, what is your opinion as a teacher on students who want to be called a different name but say not to tell their parents? So let's see what this teacher has to say.
I never tell parents, period. On their survey at the beginning of the year when it asked for preferred name and pronouns, it also asked for what you want me to refer to you as when I call home and what pronouns to use. So then I just make sure when I'm calling home, I use what they prefer when I call home. Even if someone told me I couldn't do that and I couldn't call them whatever they want or the pronouns they want without parent permission, I would still do it.
Preschoolers can't read. Teach them to read. But our teaching team is shifting and a new person is being onboarded, someone with many years of experience. So today at the lunch table, when the topic of gender and genitals came up, the topic of gender and genitals came up with preschoolers. Students plainly looked up and said, well, I'm a girl today, but I know that teacher Co isn't. No, they're envy. And the look on the incoming teacher's face was priceless. She was shocked in a good way, and she just looked around at the two of us and said, this class is incredible, and I am so impressed.
So during third period, we have announcements, and they do the Pledge of Allegiance. I always tell my class, stand if you feel like it, don't stand if you feel like it, say the words if you want, don't have to say the words. So I decided to stand but not say the words. Totally fine. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag. It used to be there, but I took it down during COVID because it made me uncomfortable. And I packed it away and I don't know where, and I haven't found it yet. But my kid today goes, hey, it's kind of weird that we just stand and then, we say it to nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, I gotta find it. Like, I'm working on it. I got you. In the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in the class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he, looks around and he goes, oh, that one?
So...
It's funny how they're always burning the American flag and they're offended by it and they're hurt by it. They need their safe space. And then they scream because they love inclusion. But the American flag it includes everybody from America. It includes everyone. This LGBT communist flag only, includes the LGBT, which is a small subset of the, population. So how can, I don't understand how you can put a flag up that doesn't include anyone, basically, only a couple people, and say that you're for inclusion, and then at the same time you're burning the only flag that actually represents inclusion and includes everyone. You're burning that, and then you're saying how you're for inclusion? That doesn't make any sense. That's the difference between lying and brainwashed. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
And present students reach out to me and tell me that they really appreciated that it's there, and I'm talking about.
Look at all these kids, but they don't feel safe. They don't have any rights. They need to put their, just like the KKK. They want to put their flag up because they're KKK pieces of shit.
Gay, straight, it doesn't matter. It's just a symbol that harassment won't be accepted here.
No, it's a symbol for the LGBT people. That means nobody else. It doesn't include anybody else. It's very divisive. What's funny is they throw this flag up that doesn't represent anyone but a small portion of the people. They take the American flag, throw it away, burn it, and then they talk about inclusion. They burn the flag, the only flag that is inclusive.
Dozens of people showing up to support an 8th grade teacher who may have to remove a pride flag in her classroom. The pride flag features stripes of different colors and has come to symbolize the diversity of the LGBTQ community. The one in question is in Bev Balish's 8th grade.
Notice how it doesn't represent everyone. So how is it inclusive? If it only represents the LGBT, how is it inclusive?
Classroom. I talked to her before the meeting at a peaceful protest outside of the school where people say they supported her display of the flag. She spoke before the board tonight explaining the flag has been in her classroom for more than 2 years now. She says her students have always told her it makes them feel like they can talk to
Yeah.
her. The majority of tonight's crowd was there to support her.
Well, if we go in there and we have a conversation about what the flag means, and why it's in my room.